Thrasymachus, laughing bitterly, says, "Typical of you, Socrates, always using irony. Didn't I say this would happen?" He refuses to answer and hides behind irony and tricks, just to avoid giving a real answer. I replied, "Thrasymachus, you're a philosopher. You should know better. Imagine someone who asks what numbers add up to 12, but then forbids you from answering 6 and 6, or 3 times 4, or 4 times 3, because that kind of nonsense won't do. Then how can anyone answer? Now suppose the person being questioned says, 'Thrasymachus, if one of the answers you banned is actually true, do you want me to lie and give a wrong answer instead? Is that what you're asking?' What would you say to him?" Thrasymachus replied, "That's not the same thing at all." "But why not?" I said. "Even if the two situations aren't exactly the same, shouldn't someone still say what they believe to be true, whether or not others forbid it? So you're going to use one of the banned answers now, aren't you?" "Maybe I will if, after thinking it through, I believe it's right." Thrasymachus replied, "What if I give a better answer about justice than any of those? What should happen to you then?" I answered, "Well, as someone who is ignorant, I should be taught by someone wise. That's what should happen to me. And for free, that's convenient." I said, "I'll pay you when I have the money." Then Glaucon added, "Don't worry about payment, Thrasymachus. We'll all pitch in to pay for Socrates." Socrates exposes the irrational demand at the heart of Thrasymachus' aggression. Thrasymachus doesn't want a real answer. He wants control over what kind of answers are permissible. Answer me, but only in terms I approve of. This is not a sincere search for truth. It is intellectual tyranny and spiritual blindness. Socrates reveals Thrasymachus' method to be absurd. Truth is not served by forbidding valid answers. In this, Socrates reflects Christ's teaching style. He doesn't fight lies with force. He exposes them with gentle but piercing reason. As Jesus said, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." Matthew 11:15. Thrasymachus does not have ears to hear. He mocks, scoffs, and demands that the truth be spoken his way or not at all. This is the spiritual mark of the Pharisee, who closes himself off from truth because it does not come in the package that he approves of. Despite the insults and mockery of Thrasymachus, Socrates responds with humility. What should happen to me? As the ignorant, I should learn from the wise. This is not sarcasm. It is true meekness. Socrates models the attitude every soul must have before God. Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I will keep it to the end. Psalm 119:33. He is unashamed to be the student, even in front of mockers. This calls to mind St. Augustine's prayer. Let me know thee, O Lord, who knowest me. Let me know thee as I am known. Here lies a great paradox. The one who knows he is ignorant is closer to truth than the one who boasts of knowledge. The saints teach us that the humble soul can receive divine instruction, but the proud man is filled with himself. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Proverbs 26:12. As St. Isaac the Syrian wrote, he who recognizes his sins is greater than he who raises the dead with his prayer. Socrates in this moment becomes a mirror of the true disciple, honest about his ignorance, willing to be taught, and unafraid to appear foolish. He mirrors the wisdom of Proverbs. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Instruct a wise man, and he will still be wiser. Proverbs 9:8-9. From the start, Thrasymachus positions himself as someone who must be paid to give knowledge. He mocks Socrates for wanting to learn for free. To him, wisdom is a mere commodity, not a divine calling or truth to be shared in love. This small line reveals an enormous truth about Thrasymachus. He is not seeking justice. He is not seeking truth. He is seeking profit, power, position. The same as the kings and powerful men that Socrates rebuked in their falsehoods only moments prior. This spirit is the hallmark of the false teacher, which Scripture calls the hireling, who does not care for the sheep. John 10:12 through 13. He is the spiritual opposite of Christ, who says, "Freely you have received, freely give." Matthew 10:8. To Thrasymachus, knowledge is not sacred, but transactional. It's something to sell, not something to serve with. He has no love for truth, no reverence for justice. His real God is greed. St. John Chrysostom, preaching on those who preach for money, said, "A wise man will speak the truth not for gain, but to save souls. But the mouth of the wicked pours out evil, and he values silver more than souls." This quote fits Thrasymachus perfectly. He is not just greedy. His greed warps his entire understanding of wisdom and becomes a temptation for believing truth is in power and profit. He treats justice as a tool for ruling and gaining advantage, not as a standard to live by. Contrast this with Socrates and Glaucon. When Socrates says, "I will pay you when I have the money," it is both honest and humble. He does not pretend to be rich, and he does not try to manipulate Thrasymachus. But Glaucon immediately cuts in with something remarkable. "We will all contribute for you." This short sentence is full of spiritual beauty. Glaucon shows that Socrates is not alone. Truth is a shared pursuit, not a private possession. He affirms that learning is not bought and sold, but shared and supported by friends. Where Thrasymachus asks, "What will I gain from this?" Glaucon replies, "How can I help you in the pursuit of truth?" This is the mark of true friendship, the willing of another's good, even at deep personal cost. Throughout Scripture, greed is shown to corrupt the soul and distort justice. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. 1 Timothy 6:10. A bribe blinds the clear-sighted and subverts the cause of the just. Exodus 23:8. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who acquit the guilty for a bribe. Isaiah 5:20-23. Thrasymachus embodies these warnings. He is a sophist who uses words not to heal, but to profit. In contrast, Socrates and Glaucon bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2. Their generosity points to the early Christian community in Acts. No one said that any of the things that belonged to him was his own. They gave to each as any had need. Acts 4:32-35. This is what true wisdom and true faith looks like. A community of shared pursuit, not competition, of humility, not arrogance, of truth freely given, not sold. Though Socrates is poor, he holds tightly to the truth, friendship, and humility. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:3.